Today we compare the Honda CRF 300L and the FE 250 HUSQVARNA. These two bikes are relatively close in the CCs. However, these two bikes could not be farther apart. Both of these bikes are amazing and they do the same thing. However, they are totally different. We're in the jungle again and we're going to talk about that Honda 300 CRF. The Honda 300L is considered a small CC adventure bike. Has that 21-inch front tire, has the 18-inch rear tire, and it has the 11.2 ground clearance. The HUSQVARNA FE 250 is considered an enduro bike. Its primarily uses for off-road. Has that 21-inch front tire, just like the Honda, and the 18-inch rear tire. The ground clearance is about 2 inches higher at 14.2 inches. Crazy riding here in the jungle. I hope you're having fun. While the Honda is a 300cc, it feels slightly underpowered compared to, let's say, the HUSQVARNA and other bikes of its class. And it just doesn't have that power. It has only like 26 horsepower. Suddenly this 300L has turned into a dirt bike. We're in the dirt now. Woo! While the HUSQVARNA is only a 250cc bike, it has about 14 horsepower more than the Honda 300L. Both of these motorcycles are fuel injected. The power band of this HUSQVARNA is quick and explosive, much like my speedway bike, and it's probably for an intermediate or advanced rider. Also, the HUSQVARNA is taller than the Honda, and its seat height is just a little bit taller. And it feels like it's a little heavier for the smaller riders. The Honda is just amazing on the street. It has that slipper clutch. It has that beautiful smooth ride. It has that Honda dependability. It's really an amazing bike. But the bike just goes everywhere. It goes on the street, in the dirt. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna ride some dirt. You wanna ride some dirt? You wanna ride? Let's go. The electronics are amazing. They have the best electronics of all the bikes in its class. So if you want good electronics, you might want to consider this Honda, because Honda just went all out in their technology. And the HUSQVARNA has really no electronics. And the Honda just has amazing electronics. On the road, the Honda rocks. It is just fantastic. It has that smooth dependability. Like we mentioned, that slipper clutch is really great for braking and for slowing the bike down a little bit on curves. This bike is just really a great bike. And if you want a good street bike, you definitely want to look at this Honda 300L. Let's ride them! Ride them, cowboy! And it's a good touring bike. You know, you could tour this bike. You might want to change that seat over there, and you might want to go ahead and put another seat on it because your butt hurts after a couple hours. This HUSQVARNA does not ride as well as the Honda on the street. It feels like a dirt bike. And it's just basically feels like you should be going out to find a patch of dirt. Woo! Ride like the wind today! The rear suspension on this HUSQVARNA rocks. It really is awesome. It was made for the dirt. And then if you compare it to the Honda, the 300L, the suspension is kind of soft. And it's one of those things that Honda is going to go ahead and make an improvement for 2023, probably 2024 too. The Honda will go off-road. However, it's really made for the street. It'll do some light trails. What's nice about the Honda is that bike will go ahead for the beginning, intermediate, even advanced riders can ride that 300L. We're going to start this ride. You ready to go? We're going to, whoa! Starting this ride a little crazy. We're gonna go up the river, the country road. I think if you took this Honda CRF 300L and modified it, probably put a lot of money into it, you could make this into a really great dirt bike. The HUSQVARNA is magnificent in the dirt. This thing rocks. And if you want a dirt bike, this might be the bike. A 250 is really, it's a good sized bike. We had mentioned that the movie On Any Sunday, that Malcolm Smith, he rode the 250 HUSQVARNA. Why? Because it's more nimble. It's a little bit lighter than the open class bike. And this bike rocks. It's fast, fuel injected. It takes you just there fast. It has a spontaneous response to the throttle. Both bikes, when you ride them, they feel totally different, but they do the same thing. They ride the street and they ride the dirt. Like we mentioned, that Honda is a great street bike. It has that slipper clutch. It's really smooth. And they say you have 8,000 miles to do the first oil change. So it's low maintenance. And that bike is good for all levels of riders. I don't feel the same about the HUSQVARNA. If I was traveling and touring around, I definitely would not get on this bike. I would not go. It just doesn't feel like it's as dependable as the Honda. And it just is, it's an enduro bike. It's made for the dirt. It's made for the trails. The HUSQVARNA is for taller riders. It's for bigger guys like me. This HUSQVARNA will definitely fit a big guy. One of the reasons why I got this HUSQVARNA is that the rider who had it before was smaller and he only rode it twice and it was just too heavy. But the HUSQVARNA is just an awesome bike for the little bit bigger rider. It's a little tall for some of the small riders. What Honda has done, they've made that new LS version for the low people, for the shorter people. It reduces 2 inches from the seat height and the ground clearance as well. The Honda is a magnificent street bike. It has everything I want. And when you're talking about a bike for the dirt, this HUSQVARNA, it has it all over the Honda. This thing is just an amazing dirt bike. Has that power. They say in Supercross, the 250s or HUSQVARNAs are the most powerful 250s out there. And I wouldn't doubt it. It's a 4-stroke, the FE. However, the Honda doesn't do as well on the dirt as the HUSQVARNA. It just was made to be an all-around bike, but the HUSQVARNA really rocks in the dirt. In Asia, they have the LED lights. They have those also in Australia, but Europe and America, they have the halogen lights. Both of these motorcycles are wonderful. They're beautiful. They have their own purpose. And that's one of the reasons why I have both of these bikes in my stable. I must admit, I have more fun on the street. I have so much fun on the street. And I feel it's a safe bike. And they're really good bikes. Both of them have their definitely advantages. They're both amazing bikes. These bikes will take you there. They're really great. And they both have their own, like I say, advantages and disadvantages. But they're amazing bikes. And I like both of those bikes in my stable because it depends how I feel, what I want to ride. I get on each bike, they're totally different. But thank you so much. We appreciate you, appreciate your subscribers. You guys are really great, and thank you so much. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna see you next time.